Okay, but to understand the true disgrace that Joe Biden is, you have to actually follow the timeline of what he has been saying for months and all the lies his administration has been telling, because the lies never stopped at any point. At any point. And he's going to continue to lie. When he says, I'm getting Americans out, I'm getting all the Afghan allies out, we're going to perform missions, we're going to go get it. Do you believe a word that comes out of his drooling mouth? Do you believe a word that comes from this man? If you do, you are a fool, because we're about to play an entire timeline of the stuff that Joe Biden has said. Since April, when he announced we were pulling out, he has not said a true thing this entire way. So let's begin. This begins April 14th. This is when Joe Biden announced that we were leaving. Here's how he described the operation that was going to lead to our exit in Afghanistan.
We'll not conduct a hasty rush to the exit. We'll do it responsibly, deliberately, and safely. And we will do it in full coordination with our allies and partners who now have more forces in Afghanistan than we do. And the Taliban should know that if they attack us as we draw down, we will defend ourselves and our partners with all the tools at our disposal.
Oh, really? Not a word of that was true. Responsibly, in coordination with our allies. Our allies think we're a bunch of idiots because the president is. So he betrayed our allies. He betrayed the Afghans. We didn't do this responsibly. We didn't do this deliberately. So that was just a lie. Okay, fast forward to July. This, of course, is his most famous lie when he says this isn't going to be anything like the fall of Saigon. He's right. It's way worse than the fall of Saigon.
Do you see any parallels between this withdrawal and what happened in Vietnam with some people feeling...
None whatsoever. Zero. What you had entire brigades breaking through the gates of our embassy. 6, if I'm not mistaken. The Taliban is not the North Vietnamese army. They're not remotely comparable in terms of capability. There's going to be no circumstance where you see people being lifted off the roof of a embassy of the United States from Afghanistan. It is not at all comparable.
Not comparable. I mean, that's good to know. It's not comparable. So that was July 8th. That was a lie. Everybody knew that was a lie. And this notion that it was like a giant shock, it's just not true. It wasn't a giant shock. Okay, so he was lying on April 14th when he said that this would be a considered move and the Taliban wouldn't take over the country and all that. Then on July 8th, he said that they're not like the Viet Cong and this wouldn't be like Saigon. So he was lying then. Now, fast forward to the last week and a half or so. So today is August 27th. So all of this stuff that we are about to examine is from the last 11 days. The number of lies this president and his administration have told in the last 11 days boggles the mind. But they think that you are a fool, and they think that you don't follow this stuff. And so they assume that they'll be able to get away with this. The most humiliating foreign policy debacle of my lifetime, bar none. Okay, so let's fast forward to August 16th. Joe Biden says the buck stops with him. And the reason that we are leaving is because we can't take more casualties, thousands of more casualties. Again, this was a lie when he said it. We had taken 0 American casualties in combat since February of 2020, at the moment that he said this, on August 16th. He said the buck stops with him. This is designed to prevent American casualties. I noticed a few American casualties yesterday.
I am President of the United States of America, and the buck stops with me. I'm deeply saddened by the facts we now face. But I do not regret my decision to end America's warfighting in Afghanistan and maintain a laser focus on our counterterrorism missions there and other parts of the world. I cannot and will not ask our troops to fight on endlessly in another country's civil war, taking casualties, suffering life-shattering injuries, leaving families broken by grief and loss. This is not in our national security interest.
Okay, keeping 2,500 troops there with 0 combat casualties since February was not in our national security interest. Withdrawing them so that 13 of them could be murdered at the hands of ISIS-K, that was definitely in our national interest. That was August 16th. Fast forward 2 days. Joe Biden has watched as the withdrawal has turned into a debacle already. By this point, we've already seen the video of Afghans falling from the bottom of planes trying to escape the clutches of the Taliban. He does an interview with George Stephanopoulos on August 18th. And he says nobody has died, knock on wood. Pathetic.
Still a lot of pandemonium outside the airport.
Well, there is, but look, but no one's being killed right now. God forgive me if I'm wrong about that, but no one's being killed right now.
God forbid, God, if I'm wrong about that, no one's... By the way, by the point he said that, people had already been killed outside the air. Like 7 people had already died during the evacuation by that point. Now, the new death toll, as of this moment, has now stretched all the way up to something like 170 people are dead. 170, including the 13 U.S. service members and 18 more wounded. Okay, then, that same interview, Joe Biden says, we're not going to leave Americans or American allies behind. A lie.
All troops are supposed to be out by August 31st. Even if Americans and our Afghan allies are still trying to get out, they're going to leave?
We're going to do everything in our power to get all Americans out and our allies out.
Nope. So he's lying then. Okay, fast forward 2 days after that. Now we're only 6 days, we're now 7 days ago. Okay, this is August 20th. Joe Biden again reiterates, we are not going to leave Americans behind. He was lying.
Let me be clear. Any American who wants to come home, we will get you home.
Nope. Wrong. Lie. Hey, also, that same presser, he says, the good news is Al-Qaeda's not in Afghanistan. There's only one problem. Everyone knew Al-Qaeda was in Afghanistan. Not only is Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, the people who are actually handling the security around the airport for the Taliban, our trusted partners over here. You know who it is? It's the so-called Haqqani network. What is the Haqqani network? It's an Al-Qaeda offshoot. Not only is Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, they're handling the security at the airport Joe Biden is trusting. This man is a disgrace and a liar.
Let's put this thing in perspective here. What interest do we have in Afghanistan at this point with Al-Qaeda gone? We went to Afghanistan for the express purpose of getting rid of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, as well as getting Osama bin Laden. And we did.
Oh, did we? Al-Qaeda is still in Afghanistan, and by the way, so is ISIS. And the people we handed the country back to are the exact same people who harbored those people. Again, it boggles the mind that we are supposed to, he thinks you are such a moron, that we handed the same country back to the same people who harbored bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. And we're supposed to now treat them as reasonable peace partners as they go around shooting people in the head. They're dragging people out of their homes and shooting them in the head if they worked with the Americans. And Joe Biden says, don't worry, there won't be any uptick in terror while the terrorists are handling the security around the airport. That's how stupid he thinks you are. Okay, that same press conference, August 20th, Joe Biden says, don't worry, any attack on our forces will be met with a swift and forceful response. Well, the bombing happened 24 hours ago. We have seen no swift response. We have seen no forceful response. We have seen no response from the President of the United States.
We made clear to the Taliban that any attack on our forces or disruption of our operations at the airport will be met with swift and forceful response.
Oh, well, then that's, clearly, because he's lying. Okay, fast forward a couple days after that. Now Joe Biden is asked a question about ISIS, and he does what he does best. He runs away because he's a damned coward.
Thanks.
Mr. President, what about ISIS and the threat that Americans face now?
Bye. Catch you later. By the way, that same day, he said that we had expanded the airport safe zone. Right? He said this to the American people, August 22nd. This is 5 days ago and 4 days before ISIS just blew everybody up.
We have constantly, increased rational access to the airport where more folk can get there more safely. It's still a dangerous operation, but I don't want to go into the detail of how we're doing that. I think you're going to see they're going to get out. Number two, we have made a number of changes, including extending access around the airport and the safe zone.
Oh, really? It seemed like that seemed like a super safe zone right outside the airport. By all available metrics, it was super safe. Okay, then, same day, he says, do we trust the Taliban? I don't trust anyone. I'm just giving them lists of American allies so they can kill them.
On the question of the Taliban, though, do you trust them now? Do you have to negotiate?
I don't trust anybody, including you. I love you. But, there's not a lot of people I trust.
There's not a lot of people I trust. Like, I don't trust you the same way I don't trust the Taliban. Hey, then, his press secretary, Jen Psaki, who is his night nurse, right? That's his actual night nurse. Joe Biden comes out, he craps the bed, and it's Jen Psaki's job to clean it up. Jen Psaki says August 23rd. Remember, this is 4 days ago. 3 days before what just happened at the airport in terms of the giant ISIS attack. Jen Psaki insisted no Americans are stranded. It's all your imagination. There are no Americans stranded. This lying, dishonest, pathetic administration. Here's Jen Psaki.
Does the president have a sense that most of the criticism is not of leaving Afghanistan, it's the way that he has ordered it to happen by pulling the troops before getting these Americans who are now stranded? Does he have a sense of that?
First of all, I think it's irresponsible to say Americans are stranded. They are not. We are committed to bringing Americans who want to come home. We are in touch with them via phone, via text, via email, via any way that we can possibly reach Americans to get them home if they want to return home.
There are no Americans stranded is the White House's official position on what's happening in Afghanistan right now.
I'm just calling you out for saying that we are stranding Americans in Afghanistan when we have been very clear that we are not leaving Americans who want to return home.
Who want to return home is always their keyword there, because the idea is that we're going to blame the people who remain. Also, we are leaving them behind. Clearly. Joe Biden said it last night. Don't worry, we'll figure out after we're out of there, have no resources on the ground, have zero leverage because we ain't going back in. Then we'll figure out how to get them out. So she was lying then. Next day, she decided, again, this was literally 2 days now before the ISIS attack. She says, this is a massive success. I don't think you guys are giving us credit for what a massive success it is for us to load the lifeboats with people after we blew a hole under the waterline of the Titanic, after we dynamited this boat. I don't think you're giving us enough credit for how many people we've offloaded onto the lifeboats.
I would say that this is now on track, Peter, to be the largest airlift in U.S. history. And that is bringing American citizens out. It is bringing our Afghan partners out. It is bringing allies out. No, I would not say that is anything but a success.
She won't say it's anything but a success. There's only one word you can use for what we've been seeing, according to the Biden administration 2 days ago, and that's success. Just success. So I leave it to you. Is this administration competent, capable? Are they acting in the best interests of America's future or the American people, or indeed in the interests of the American service members? Or is this an administration a clown car careening out of control with a senile person at the head of it, occasionally bloviating a particularly stupid idea and everybody rushing to fill the gap? You tell me. There are a lot of dead bodies that tell the story in Kabul today. Did you know that every single like creates one additional leftist tier? That is just science.